It is a mirror, I believe, across the board. Space just trying to find an angle here for Envy, holding them in that right side doorway, and they are going to stay grouped, taking that space, if you will. Group V, group walls are up. Both shield cooldowns have been burned, as we aren't finding too much purchase yet, separating the team. They're finding an off-angle poke with the Hela directly across the way. A ton of damage out there so far, but nobody finding any early pick.
Envy playing very tightest unit right now, trying to coordinate together towards this objective, really trying to death bowl into Rad, and it might work out for them if they can cooldowns out, but oh no, that's terrible for Envy.
Yeah, Rad immediately going to take out two. They're going to obviously use that momentum to keep the space pressed in. If I'm on the side of Envy, we got to fall now, as manually going to take out Pain in the back. And here we go again, as the team is going to have to redrop back, and Rad is going to gain some early percentage.
Yeah, somehow Team Envy just sort of fell apart there. What a hook, though, but immediately countered by Hela just being the character she is. It somehow manually also takes down Cal. So with the iframes, falls back into the team, gets the Magneto bubble, able to get that elimination is massive for Rad Esports after what was a nice hook from NK.
Yeah, that's a disgusting flick. Turn around with the iframe, immediately make a play, and there's a pull right back at him on the side of Envy. Nobody falling yet, as the KOs have not started. And here comes the Bucky. Will it happen again and again? And we're immediately going to pop that Guardian shield for both sides. Up in the sky, Chime's going to fall from the side of it, or on the side of Rad. Spenny goes down to his Envy. Is trying to retake back this space, make that 3, soon to be 4, and they're on an absolute rampage here as NK is popping off.
It was a nice ultimate from NK, perfectly timed with that Kraken impact. You know, a lot of the top tier teams, I feel like, do a good job shutting down Bucky as long as that Kraken impact can't get value into strategist ultimates. But obviously, Rad pushed back by NK and the rest of the crew of Envy, who did a great job on that engage.
Yeah, I mean, that was just really well played. They did have to use a lot to get out of there. As you can see, ulti advantage in the favor of Rad now, but still, they did get some percentage on here. They're roughly at 20, about halfway through towards the opposition of Rad, and we are going to start the next fight as the team going to stay grouped on the left side, just trying to get something, make something happen immediately. Another Guardian shield just to buy some time for the team, as Rad is still owning this position. An immediate takedown of space. Spenny with a nice bit of damage there. Make that 2 as Chime takes out iRemix. Will they be able to get more? Yes. And down goes NK. Cal trying to turn things around. Ooh, and 2 back for the side of Envy. Will they be able to turn this play around? Was that just a little bit to buy time? Len going to take out Sleepy, and they are going to maintain position here with 54% on the side of Rad retaking the point here.
What is that ultimate? I mean, obviously, you're not going to get any value there from Cal. You don't have a team. I don't understand that ult at all. It feels like to me at the moment right now, Shib, Team Envy to sort of fall over, right? Obviously, ultimate advantage. Spenny did have that Loki copy, whereas there were no strategist ultimates for Envy. But right now, they just keep getting walked on, and Team Rad are taking advantage of Team Envy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like we've seen that mistake a couple times now for Envy. There's just no reason for that at all. I think it was potentially the hype of the 2 KOs they got prior, but they didn't see the numbers were not in their favor even after those 2 KOs. So it just didn't really work out for him. Space still trying to take over this point. Gonna force them back towards the point. Cal on the high side, immediately another Guardian shield to buy time and to wall off some vision on this off angle. Great pick there for Cal on manually. On the backside, Envy trying to retake this. They need to now. 98% in the side of Rad. There's the touch, and they're just battling on point as Crew launches out ultimate, and we're trying to find a pick as the crystals get popped. NK looking for another, but I don't see any pick just yet. Psych, I lied. Down goes Len.
Yeah, Len to fall, more players to fall on Rad Esports' side. I mean, this is how Envy wins fights right now, Chib. It feels like it's off of incredible mechanical prowess, space to open things up, immediately engaging, getting the elimination onto Rad Esports, and then Cal to follow it up to make up for the mistake earlier. So right now, Envy in a good spot, but they're going to need to find those opening picks again if they want a chance versus the ultimates of Rad.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it needed to happen, right? They clutched up in the moment they needed. Obviously, ulti advantage back in the side of Rad. Envy is going to still have that Bucky ready to hit him with armed and dangerous. Will it happen again? Chime trying to make a play on point. Immediately going to Guardian shield up. Len and Connie going to take down 2 as they put the numbers back in the side of Rad, trying to clutch it up. Space goes down as well. Make that remix falling, and Rad at this point should be able to take home this first point.
Yeah, they should definitely be able to take over the point. And Rad going up 1 in the series right in this first of 2. is massive for them. And for Rad Esports, right, they just constantly did that shit. We both saw it. I mean, Team Envy, you know, I don't know whether it's just Cal being out of position there. It wasn't just Cal, right? It was other players on Team Envy's side, but they were constantly just falling over, right? In terms of Rad Esports, they find those opening picks. They're able to walk in off of the Loki ultimate. They have almost, it feels like, better game plans at the current moment than Team Envy does, Shib. However, you know, there's always you have a puncher's chance if you're Team Envy, considering they have so many talented players on their roster.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the breakdown here. There's final hits. You just see Len on that group just popping off 7 final hits. And that's truly, to me, and especially at this level of play, all that really matters. If you're able to get that pick, make the KO happen for your team, change the numbers, that's how things I mean, you see damage and you know, if you think one thing, but in the end of the day, it doesn't matter until you see a KO on the screen. You know, it's a little bit back and forth here on the side of the duelist, as you can see, roughly even in terms of damage and final hits. But, yeah, I mean, I think you're saying, it's almost like a team understanding diff, right? Like they just seem to play off each other a little better on the side of Red.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we talked to, I believe it was Nuck the other day yesterday, talked about how they wanted to ban, I believe it was Team Envy's Invisible Woman, right? Because at the moment, you know, these duelists, if you get the Invisible Woman shield on your side, you can always just not die, right? You just have so much consistency with that shield, with that basically extra HP that is provided to Hellas. So you're not going to see a lot of eliminations actually from these Hellas until that shield is broken from Invisible Woman.
Yes, and it's just a very, you know, it's a playstyle they like to play with, right? If you pocket her over in the corner with that off angle, it's just so much more difficult to handle. But Chime is ready to make a play here. The sides of Envy with, oh my goodness, the immediate pick on the paint as paint goes down. Numbers get evened up from Cal, manually falls. We're looking for another play here from Cal. Cal trying to find an off angle pick, no, has to drop back and get the heal. Great positioning, and down goes Abs. Really well done from Cal there, and they're gonna press forward, make that 3 for the side of Envy, as they are gonna get early positioning on point.
And nice work by Envy, and also with that boundary there by Abs in that fight, that to hold it for a little bit longer. But I believe it was a huge pushback from Envy and Cal's side, like you mentioned, and now they have a decent bit of ultimates for this next fight coming up as well.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. They do have that, you know, advantage in these next fights, but at this point, I'm hoping a momentum shift, right? Ooh, okay, a little bit of damage there. Cal got to take out manually early, and that's massive for the side of Envy. Make that too as NK takes out Chime, and they're just going to walk him back to spawn and force a retake here. They're going to have to group again. This is one of those things you see at this level of play. When somebody falls, they fall back together. There's no reason to stagger and waste time. Get back as a team, prepare yourselves, and do not waste those ultimates. Rules 1, 2, and 3 at this elo as we start another fight like nothing just happened.
Yeah, pretty much back to square one. Ultimates committed as well, by the way, from the side of, or rather not, in this situation. They're falling back to the point at the current moment as Team Envy trying to secure this objective. Play it around as there's a flank early by Chime. Boundary comes out from Spenny's side in the copy.
Yep, and here comes the Armed and Dangerous. Are we going to land on both sides? As it does go up in the sky, waits a minute to buy some time. Loki crystals have been popped. Not enough, though, as Connie takes out NK. Rad trying to get some percentage back as it's 64 in the side of Envy. The disappear is up again as we are trying to find a little bit of, oh, it's just back and forth here with these walls. An impenetrable force. It's an absolute mansion in there right now, and nobody can make anything happen. Just back and forth. The fear in the sky as Magneto looks for something. The meatball does not connect, but they are able to get that pick. Down goes, ooh, space does not fall. I lied. Is going to be able to drop back and retake with the team. Connie trying to find a pick here on the opposition of Remix with the Groot, and Remix is going to fall. Well done by Abs there to follow up on that.
Yeah, nice work from their team to pop those ultimates at the perfect time, right? Make sure they secure those eliminations with the boundary late, committing that ultimate a bit later than Team Envy did in their case to get perfect positioning is massive for them moving forward, as well as they can find more opening picks. But, you know, a lot of ticks given, a lot of percentage given to Team Envy right now. They're not in that bad of a spot if they can just win one team fight.
Yeah, I mean, they do have ult advantage. It's, you know, it's why 1% at this point, but it is, you know, they're looking pretty good in their position. Now, at this point, it's just about building up those ults, getting ready for one last fight and making things happen. You just gotta right now play properly. Do not stagger and make sure these team fights are of value. Don't just shoot into the tanks and allow the backline to get their strategist ultimates as Cal takes out manually immediately. Really well done from Envy. Again, Cal finding these off angles with the Invisible Woman's shield pocket and just making things happen. Gonna drive the point to force them to turn around as we start this next fight again.
Yeah, Cal's gonna have to live. Unfortunately, you can't get too much pressure on point is Hella. However, it is traded back. Time also got picked off, so it's a 1-for-1 trade into this next fight, into Meteor M with the Groot ultimate, but there's a shield there for a second. It's not going to be able to save NK, however. It's traded, however, on the other side, though, by Paint with his own boundary.
Yeah, right back at him. Connie's gonna fall after landing a meatball directly on the opposite. Again, another shot there. Great shot by Space to take out manually. Trying to find an off angle as Envy is doing a great job here, taking over this fight. Sleepy gonna drop out Spenny. Down goes Abs on the side of Cal. And Envy might just do it here on taking over this point.
Looks like they will, unless there's somebody last second that can come through, but... No, yeah. Oh, wait, no, he does touch. Kenny able to get that point touch, but at this point, yeah, it's a little bit too late. I mean, maybe you can come in. No portals, however, because Doctor Strange got banned out, and there it is, tied up 1-1, Shib. And my God, that's my washed King Sleepy, dude. Tying it up 1-1. Amazing job on Loki.
Yeah, I mean, it does take away that mental, right? Like, when you don't have Strange in the field, you can kind of relax a little bit. I know how terrifying it is being on point there when somebody touches. You just know, hey, there's going to be a portal, and we're going to have to deal with it, and we better win this fight. If they have ult advantage, it's tough. It's tough to come back from that. We saw some games yesterday lost simply due to a portal play, and taking that off the field may have been a massive advantage for them. So here we go into map 3. I love to see the first game start like this.
Yeah, I mean, that entire round to me, Shib, seemed like it was kind of a Cal, like, high-level performance, right? Cal finding those opening picks multiple times onto Manually or Chime or whoever it was. I mean, one time it did result in his demise, but most of the time, right, that opened it up for Team Envy alongside Space, providing a lot more pressure on that front line. Team Envy are looking like they're in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm with you. You can see it even on the stat line here. Cal, 13 final hits. Those off-angle pushes with the pocket of his backline strategist is really working for them. They do have ult advantage as well as we begin map 3.
We're heading into it also with those ultimates, like you said, tied up on both sides. You know, in terms of strategist ultimates, though, that's going to be an Abs in Rad's favor, so we'll have to watch that and see how they play the ultimate game as they have the edge leading forward.
And here we go again. Abs just making sure the backline is protected. Connie going to take a little bit of space here and land on the opposition. Is going to ride up and try to make something. Immediately, Hella going to pop off. Try to find some sort of value. Great pick there onto Sleepy in the back. Taking out a Loki after just knowing he has that ability of the crystals to keep his team up, and immediately going to counteract Len. And Chime going to get 2 as Cal going to immediately res that Loki. The power of the team up with Hella and Loki is insane as that pick is now invalidated. Just trying to find some more value, but early on, Rad is going to own this point. Get 5% on their initial push. Dropping back again, using that iframe, resetting with the team like we talked about, and ready for another fight.
Yeah, that's the tough part when you don't have strategist advantage, strategist ultimate advantage. Rad taking full value out of that, and also Manuel's ult. Here's a Groot ult as well, but it's into a boundary on the side.
Yeah, strangling prison doesn't mean much when you're ready to go invisible after the fact, and it's right back as soon as I say that, as Ab takes out Remix. Envy, or Cal's gonna fall to Manually. Really well done again by Rad here, who are just countering these ultimates and performing better. And down goes Space, Manually gonna take out Sleepy, and they are gonna have to retake another fight again.
And that was a great engage there disengage rather by Rad, and then they were able to deal with NK committing the Kraken impact a bit too late. 50% of the board at the current moment. Rad are looking like they're in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just group composition versus group composition. It's terrifying when those strangling prisons come out, and you don't know what is going to happen next, especially when Bucky can just dunk on your whole team and follow up with his team to just reset and reset. As we are going to start another fight here. Envy, I'm sure the comms are getting a little, they have to really just focus up and get a win on one of these fights early before they fall down the slope. An ult pop there immediately by Abs as they are trying to take this positioning early. Loki going to copy somebody. What do you know? We're going invisible again on both sides, and they are taking that space just a little bit, driving back Rad to the backside of their spawn.
Yeah, Cal waiting with his ultimate, the Goddess of Hello at the top. In the meanwhile, oh no, Canny gets picked off on the side. Amazing work from them off of that engage, but here's that strangling prison, like you mentioned, on to Team Envy. However, they're all grouped up together. They have all of the heals there. There goes also the support dropping in aggressive boundary. However, they've lost NK in this fight. That can be brutal in terms of damage, but they're able to take advantage of every other position on the objective on top of that Goddess ultimate from Cal. They're able to secure it at 99%.
This seems like the battle of the daggers here as they're just popping heads. Hella, an absolute demon when let through the pick ban system. And you can see on both sides, it's had a massive impact. Cal doing a great job. And right back on manually on the other side. I'm really unsure how it's going to shake out, but I do love to see this amount of competition, especially as we get to map 3. Envy trying to hold up here with ult advantage to try to get some percentage back on Rad.
Got that Strangling Prism ready to go on their side. We'll see if Spenny's going to match it with the boundary. Probably can get the eliminations through it. I mean, Remix throws it out. Cal, meanwhile, on the left side, able to take that trade. But no, they're just losing on the other side. Unless Cal can find 2, it might be over for Envy on the objective.
Cal with a nice pick there, taking out the opposition. Hella, that could be good enough to potentially raise back his team, but no. Chime gonna own this high ground. There's the ultimate popped, immediately gonna follow up. Whole team committing. Will we find more picks? Dunked on as space falls. Chime looking for 2, make it 3 as Chime shoves into the point, trying to make sure they can end this game now. Make that 3. Will he get 4? Can he get 5 as the game is gonna go to Rad?
Ooh, I mean, Rad Esports at the very end on Warrior Falls, just showing that they had a superior knowledge in terms of ultimates, knowing how to use them at the right time and when to engage, right? I mean, it's really tough as well on King of the Hill or on Control in general. When you come back onto the point in domination last second, right, against 99%, it's always going to be difficult for you. And Rad Esports really set themselves up for success there to win on that map.
Yeah, look at this spread across the board. Very even on the team of Rad. 10 eliminations on both sides of the duelists. You go over to the opposition. Cal absolutely popped off 18 final hits. Ton of damage there too. But,
for some reason on, Spider Island, for example, they'll get 3 fights on the first point on defense. So, a lot of teams do love to play that attack, like you mentioned. And for the team of Rad's side, who knows how they play this on their attack.
Envy trying to get him a little cheese there as you saw the group building structure out the door. If they rushed out the door trying to get an early pick, unfortunately, they saw that and read it like a book as they are starting to take space now. You can see the way these people play at this level. Just a lot of high ground take as we do see Cal on the thing. One of my personal favorite Vanguards to run. An absolute monster in the brawl, but very difficult to play into group as we are seeing some pressure early here from the side of Envy, just throwing them into their spawn door.
Yeah, I mean, they're running the triple Z comp with Rocket Raccoon, with that Punisher, with the Winter Soldier. But at the moment, I mean, this is what we talked about. The sustain is just far too much, I think, in the game in general to be able to take out the composition of triple tanks and triple Vanguard.
Yeah, the res station does bring Chime back to the fight, so nothing major there. We do see the immediate pop on the side of Abs and over on Paint as well as it does stall it out a little bit. We are going to launch out the Strangling Prison. Is there going to be a follow-up here as they hit the sky? Envy going to take down 2, make that 4 as NK absolutely pops off.
Yeah, NK's such a good player on Winter Soldier, as we saw also with the stagger on the Spenny. I think they got to swap off this triple Z composition. I do not like it at the current moment. Like we mentioned, the triple Vanguard with the damage reduction from Cal, with everything, Magneto bubbles, with Groot walls. There's so many things blocking all of your damage, even with the team up from Rocket Raccoon. We'll see if it's enough, but I don't think it's going to work for them, and they should swap.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, we talked about this, the ladder climb. I'm terrified of that personally, but these guys, they're just at another level, right? These players they just understand how to get around it, and as I'm saying that, down goes Remix. Really well done there by manually using that unlimited ammo to make a play. Groot gonna take out space. Unfortunately, Magneto cannot meatball up the Groot. Ranches, Connie gonna take out Cal as well.
Yeah, that's a great point you mentioned, Shib, how, you know, that group able to take down Magneto in the sky in the bubble, which is huge for them. But, you know, on the side for Envy, they've actually swapped it up Cal over to the Hela now instead of playing on the Thing to potentially counter what was the, you know, the anti-Vanguard composition with Punisher and Winter Soldier and Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, I mean, not only is it difficult to play the Thing into unlimited ammo like that, but if you got a Groot in there, it's just it's a recipe for impossible battles. But here we go again as the amplifier is being enjoyed by the team. Out we go again. Early pick. Try Chime. Gonna take out Space. Nice early pick there for Rad as they are owning this space. Limited ammo. Make that 2 remix falls. And they are just owning this area now, and the numbers will continue to fall as they're absolutely feeling themselves now.
I don't like how Envy played that, right? They were just kind of caught out in between ultimates. They didn't have a real answer, and, you know, positionally we're a bit too far forward in terms of both of their Vanguards and Space and Remix. And now I don't even know if they get a good recontest or at least a solid one as Envy goes for a quick boundary from Paint.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the early point take. I'm not sure if they had 3 people on, or, you know, they must have. But here we go as Connie trying to go. They do take out 2, 3. Cal going to try to even the numbers, but unfortunately not, as Chime is going to turn this around and just say again 45 times as the side of Envy falls.
I mean, Rad obviously proving me a bit wrong here with this Triple Z composition. It's working for them at the current moment. We'll see if they can keep it up in the Streets phase. For Envy's side, using a lot of ultimates into the last fight just to take another L is brutal as Team Rad Esports continue on in the Streets phase of the map.
Yeah, Rad really riding this momentum. We saw the shift there early on. It looked difficult for them to get out of that door, but they just kind of, unfortunately, on the side of Envy, just kind of staggered and felt, I could see like the lack of confidence off angles that are in positions that you can't really see anybody else besides the Vanguards. It's not, I'm not sure if it's a matter of just panic or what's necessarily going on, but once you get momentum on this map, as we talked about, it's a little bit more attack-sided. You can really run this thing as they're pressing forward to point 2.
Yeah, Cal's got the Goddess of Death on this right side flank. Could potentially go for something, but just with pure pressure, NK's able to find the first one, and then Cal follows it up. So great work from Team Envy at the moment to take a lot of pressure away from Rad Esports, who are on the high ground.
Wow, another 2-piece pick early. Envy trying to get their space back. They got their feet under them now, wiping the team, and that is what you needed to see on the side of Envy.
Yeah, for Team Envy's side, they're looking like they're in a good spot at the current moment. For Cal, you know, I'm curious if he takes any really aggressive off angles, looks for a pick on the back line, right? They only have one super defensive strategist ultimate. Obviously, for Spenny, they want to go really far forward with the See You Later, with the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, so we'll see if they want to make an aggressive play 3-2-1 and engage on Team Envy.
Yeah, I think they slowed the pace down, right? That's what they needed. Everything was just kind of going too quick for them, and now, oh, that was an early pick right there. Really well done by Remix. That positioning was a little tough to see. Unfortunately, Cal gonna follow up on Abs. Abs goes down. Connie falls as NK is finding some space here. That pick didn't necessarily, absolutely mattered, excuse me, against Lenny. As Len goes down, excuse me, that was a really well done job here by the side of Envy.
Yeah, I don't know what that was with Len pushing in that fight. Spenny's over to Loki, by the way, off of Rocket Raccoon now. Once that triple Vanguard comp is gone, somehow Remix taunted Len into taking that fight and then winning in that trade after getting the walls off, and then a nice pull from Paint in the meantime to find another elimination to continue the snowball that they're on.
Yeah, you know, you got to be terrified of doorways when Groot's out here, and he's out here on both sides, and that just was the showcase of what you got to be scared of. I mean, now they're owning this high side, great positioning here. It's funny because you don't see a ton of this stuff climbing ladder, right? These positions that they're taking just shows you how important high ground is, playing around their team. Cal with a nice early pick on manually. Rad really finding their footing. Make that 2, make that 3, as they are going to sweep the side of Rad. Envy doing an incredible job here.
Yeah, maybe slight overcommitment of ultimates, committing to Kraken Impact, Loki, and also the Hela ultimate. So that could lead to something poor in this upcoming fight, but regardless, a fight win's a fight win, and Cal's playing well so far.
Yeah, I do think, oh, good stuff there by the friendly wall, but still, they are finally figuring out the way they want to make this fight happen. Cal was trying to find an off angle, see if anyone was pressing over there. I do like that idea, as this will be the final push and fight here on point 2. Up into the sky goes not only Chime, who takes out Paint, but immediately gets turned on. His space is going to drop that back on Chime. A lot of ultimates being popped now as the support. The strategists are popping to keep the team up. Hela in the sky, raining on the back line. Spenny gonna take out Remix and manually gonna take out Cal. That should be enough for them to at least drive them into the next fight. But this is not necessarily point 2 yet.
No, I was about to sing Space's praises after getting the elimination on a Chime, going with that Kraken impact, but like we said, the previous fight just mattered too much. Rad had too many ultimates in the bank, but now Team Envy, right, they've got the ultimates to work with. They're also coming up on a few more, so we'll see if they can pull it off against Connie in his Meteor M.
Yep, this will be a major fight for them. Connie holding he's ready to dunk that meatball on whoever's in the backline. Here it goes. Immediately gonna throw that shield. Something I've been lacking on doing is using that self shield before I pop ultimate as NK goes down. Early pick on the side of Rad as they do have the numbers, but we are gonna see an ult advantage. Oh, on the side of Rad as Cal is gonna take out manually to even things up. How is this fight gonna shake out? It's back and forth as can be, as Spenny gonna pop that Loki. Still no major value, no other picks besides the early ones, and here we go again with the Invis to keep the team moving as NK takes out Chime.
Yeah, they should have enough sustain now also with the Groot ultimate from Len to try to get the eliminations, but there's too much healing now, too much sustain for Team Envy's side with that Foundry, and nobody can touch after that. You called it out earlier, Shib. Cal with that opening pick, and then later on, Sleepy with a nice copy onto his Invisible Woman to follow it up.
Wow, these fights are crazy, back and forth, strangling prisons everywhere. Invis popping all left and right, Hella in the sky. You don't know where you're looking at this point. Incredibly well played on the defense there for Envy, but I loved what Rad was doing initially on that attack. The confidence, it just kind of seemed to fall off for him as they had to switch that comp up.
Yeah, I don't mean to, you know, obviously we're going back in time now to when they did run the Triple Z composition with that Punisher, with the Rocket Raccoon, and with the Bucky. You know, it doesn't, personally, I think it could work, it can work, but from what I've heard behind the scenes and watching a lot of practice and scrims, it just feels like the strategists in this game give so much, you know, in terms of healing, in terms of support with the crystals from Loki, in terms of, you know, everything that they provide. So it's really hard to make that composition work when you don't have, you know, pretty much being invincible in the invisible boundary or with another invisible boundary when you're on Loki. You know, so you lose a lot of that value when you play those compositions, but it was a nice rotation from Envy's side to make those swaps. You saw how earlier on they were, you know, playing that triple Vanguard Chib and then, you know, swap off that to make sure they're not countered anymore. Theoretically, it kind of works out.
Yeah, I am a little surprised here. I saw a lot, you know, for example, other teams were running a lot of Cloak, right? Cloak had that buff. It seemed to be providing a lot of value, at least in terms of burst healing on the front line. I haven't seen that since yesterday, I believe, maybe some of the games this afternoon as well. But here we go with these early fights.
They knew Cal was going to flank there, man. That's just read by Rad so well.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Connie with a nice pick there, holding this high side. I love to see the team holding the secondary tier here, making sure they don't get pulled down there by putting that pillar in front of them. Very smart, Connie. Well done there on the side of Rad as they are owning this high ground.
Controlling it at the moment. Right now, Rad really just playing it back right now, playing in this sort of 3-3 split right now as they have their Loki even further back right, making sure they delete the walls. They also have good group walls on their side. Controlling it very well at the moment as Envy just trying to control this point and then maybe even contest this high ground.
Yeah, I like this. See, this is something, you know, you don't necessarily need to hold the cart at the door. You know that you can drop down when need be. They're just buying time right now, building up that all charge, and a great pick there as we're talking from Cal on the offense to take down Len. And that's a nice early momentum shift as they are going to press in. NK just barely missing the hook, but it doesn't matter when you drop a Vanguard like that as Connie goes down as well. And yep, make that 2, 3, 4 as Chime and manually fall as well.
I can definitely see why teams want to ban Invisible Woman versus Team Envy. Paint and Cal just doing the Hitman duo, running around the map, making sure Cal has that shield. Manually and Abs were trying to do something similar. However, Cal's angle was just a bit superior in this instance. Able to take advantage of, was it Len? Yeah, Len getting picked up on the high ground on the Groot. So right now, Envy put themselves in a great spot, have a good time bank as well.
Yeah, getting that off angle with DPS, right? It couldn't be more shown in terms of value than these few games with these two Hellas. They're just so much early pick potential. When you get one, your team rolls in like a train. You do not stop moving until the team is bye-bye. And they are showing it here as Envy going to try to take that high ground and push forward immediately. That invisible boundary on both sides being held. And here comes Bucky. How many times will we hear it as the strangling prison is in? And they do get 2 and 3 as Envy is absolutely popping off Rad. Try to get one back, but no. Make that 5 on the side of Envy. Immediate res there from manually as manually does get a pick there on Hella to res the Loki, but no, it's not going to be enough, I don't believe.
Yeah, and he's getting staggered too. Oh no, they don't want to take him out until the last second, and now there it is. That's brutal, especially as we're coming up to the very end here, Shib. You're going to be missing your Loki for this fight.
Yeah, that's just smart, right? That's the downside there to the res. Can't do much about it. It was a good pick, but unfortunately the rest of the team fell, and at that point it's just wasting time as we do another invisible boundary here, likely on the side. Oh, yikes! As Len, Abs, there goes 2-3, Remix gonna try to turn it back around. Chime gonna drop Remix in return, make that 3 as Cal falls as well. Rad finding their footing and saying it's not over yet.
Poor Sleepy. I just feel so bad for Sleepy. He got strangling imprisoned by Groot. Desperately started looking for Paint wherever Paint was to get the copy with his Loki. Tossed down an invisible boundary. Couldn't find him. Body blocked by his own Magneto. And they lose the fight because of it.
Eesh, it's just so hectic in here. You know, it's just so difficult to ensure you get everything to work out. I'm assuming the comms, you know, especially in these heated moments, are insane. The walled off after the pull, it's a really good combination there. You like to see when you have Group Bucky is you wall them off post-pull, but no, not quite working for them. As we see Bucky in the sky, invisible boundaries popped again. Dunked on as we lose 2 on the side of Envy. Rad doing a great job pressuring in as Chime makes that 4, an absolute demon 5. Chime showing off at this point as he sweeps the team.
Great job by Chime and crew there. Copy used by Spenny perfectly as well. Sleepy with his own boundary, not able to get the value that Team Rad was. Still 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, though, Shib. Although it's basically last fight territory for Rad, they've got the Goddess of Death ready available, and they've got more ults coming up. We'll see if they can do it here.
Yeah, things are getting intense. You can see the momentum, right? That's huge for them. It's just going to help them. And, you know, this is where it gets intense, right? Because if they take this home, it is over, and that is a W in the books. So I'm assuming the nerves at an all-time high. You can't play nervous now, though. You need to play properly. Chime taking out Cal early. NK using it all after, does get 2. And maybe we'll do this as they do pop the boundary, make that 3 as Chime falls as well. Really well done here by NK. Paint going to take out Len, and this could potentially be the W on the side of Envy to even it out.
Wait, Space has ultimate, though. Minute 36 seconds left to go. Yeah, Rad does have a retouch. No ultimates available. Spenny's going to have to build this copy, and Chime could go huge with the Kraken impact if he builds in time.
Oh, just trying to get the touch, and it does happen. They are able to get on point. That's beautiful. Honestly, was not sure it was going to happen. The dunk, though, they do an incredible job ensuring those get value every single time as Space takes out. Oh, my goodness. Sleepy on Spenny, back and forth as Sleepy takes out manually. Oh, my.
Wait, could do it, maybe. He could look up, no way in the boundary. 2 Paint goes down. Could find more, no way. Rad gets it done. Time. What a clutch by him to hold on.
A quadra KO for Chime. Just an absolute demon back-to-back with the Bucky.
Are you kidding me, Shib? There's no way, man. Sleepy getting picked off there was huge by Chime, and then I thought it was pretty much over as soon as Space hit a huge ultimate to make sure Abs was not there with the copy for Spenny. So, oh my God, Rad Esports, stay alive.
Wow, what a clutch moment there for Chime. I am assuming his team is juiced right now, playing off that energy. But here we go for potentially the final fight of this match. Will it go with the side of Envy, or will it go back to Rad as Rad loses too early? Envy just trying to get themselves a W. Groot trying to get the pick, and does as NK takes out Connie. And here comes the armed and dangerous for NK again, trying to find something. Yes, Envy is gonna turn this and make it 1-1.
My God, Shib, we got a series on our hands. Really close end there. My God, I mean, it was just back and forth at the, you know, at the wire. So for Team Envy to get the job done, I'm sure they feel good. Rad Esports really pushed him to the brink there. We're going to that number 3 now, Shib, after it was so hectic.
Clutch ultimate from Bucky after clutch ultimate on both sides. Absolutely terrifying to go against a Bucky who can dunk inside of a building. As soon as he hits that roof, he can immediately put that pressure on with the ult instead of forcing that full animation into the sky. And you saw the value of it there. Holy, look at these stat lines. 18 from NK, 13 from Cal, a ton of damage on the board from both, and even more damage on Chime and manually. Absolutely beautiful.
I feel like I've been incredibly impressed with Paint. I know in terms of just stats, looking at this, right, 37,000 healing, got 7,000 more than the other side with Abs being on the Invisible Woman on his own side.
Oh, what are you thinking? You think they're going to be running the Jeffers out in... Yeah, you think so?
Wait, maybe.
It makes sense with the comp they're running right now. Oh, I was going to say there was a small chance, but they are going to change it up here as we do start on the high side. Spenny going to own this high ground, setting up with Loki, getting the clones in a firing line. You know how much damage and burst healing you get when you have those clones out ready to rock, but instead is going to get taken out early. Those clones are going to fall, and we are going to start our first fight around this corner.
Yeah, triple threat at this brawl comp for MV's side, so they're really trying to prioritize keeping NK alive, making sure their front line can get all that lot of the damage. We're going to see a lot of brawling from them. We'll see if Rad Esports can adjust and play around this triple threat at this composition.
And we begin as things are already getting pushed back, as you can see on the side of Envy, owning a lot of space, forcing the strategist to go yard, but Len is going to be covering the back of his team, forcing them to retake this fight as a full unit. Nice pick there for Chime, as they are immediately going to take out NK.
Yeah, playing it well there. NK does res come back into the fight immediately with the blasters, able to trade back manually, so that means Spenny would not be able to get res here if he were to go down. This Fate of Both Worlds, unfortunately, is just a bit too late from Abs. However, Len does trade back Remix, so that's at least something. He also has the Prison ready to go, but into the sky with the Legendary. Gonna follow up on the Chime. I mean, that's just far too much damage at this point of the game, as Len surely will fall and hold on his ultimate for the next point of the game.
It's so difficult mentally going against the Guardians comp. You get a pick and you think you're up, and nope, he's right back there spinning over your head and just taking you out, turning that around and allowing Envy to take that first point in nearly record time. Really well done there by Envy.
Yeah, well played, and also to get, you know, Abs Fate of Both Worlds down is massive. Sure, you're still going to have Spenny with the copy. Going to see that copy, you know, Luna Snow in this upcoming fight. That should be good versus Paint and Crew with their own Mantis ultimate. But, you know, at the moment, Envy have a large time bank to work with.
Yeah, and we are going to be getting fight two. Great bubble there by Magneto as NK trying to find some additional space. Really difficult to focus him in the sky like that. The Thing getting caught out of position. Down goes Remix as Pain also takes out Chime to even out the numbers. And we are going to proceed forward as ultimates do get popped manually in the sky. Envy about to dunk the meatball on somebody. No luck there as they are still holding Connie. Going to try to turn that around. And will he find one? Does do it as Paint falls. And it is going to be now in favor of Rad.
Yeah, the res available for Paint. He'll come back also. Will the Legendary over the top side with the bubble. That's so much damage at this point. And Envy running it down towards Spanny and Crew. Rad Esports just have to funnel towards the objective. Chime obviously swapped over to Sidelock. They could get some extra damage in before falling. Actually, Len's able to take down NK. That's something, but they've lost their healers at this point. And that card's still moving forward. Space being an OBJ player, objective control. And with just Chime here, I don't know if they'll be able to touch. Actually, no, they do, but it's against this Sleepy with the copy, also Fate of Both Worlds from Abs, so they're sustaining on to this fight, trying to build up an ultimate and wait for the team to come back, but clobber in time from Remix, follow through damage from Cal, everybody else is securing the objective. Abs will also fall, missing those two members. Rad Esports, maybe they can clutch up, but it might be too little too late.
Yeah, if you've been running a lot of duelists, go on out of Morlock, get yourself a four-piece as Cal absolutely pops off space, gonna take out Len. Connie falls to Paint, and wow, this Guardian comp is being used to their max extent. This is an incredible map for it, and you are really seeing the value of this team up here.
Yeah, I believe somebody mentioned it was in an interview with a pro player how, you know, triple strategist and triple Vanguard competitions, you know, a bit of a skill check, right? You have to understand how to deal with this, right? Constantly, you mentioned it earlier, Shiv, with the bubbles from space onto NK, just making sure he can constantly get those blaster pistols off. It's been really tough for Rad to deal with. We'll see if they can manage it in the third objective.
Yeah, it is a calm situation, and also it's really about Warlock or your essentially quote-unquote off strategist that can deal damage, that can make space, that can do something unique, like maybe even a Jeff. Just absolutely dealing a ton of damage. As Cal got a four-piece on point too and allowed them, bought them enough space to just freely take that thing. As we press forward again, they are driving them back towards spawn point. Well done here by Rad to take out Cal. Cal likely has res up. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't matter as space falls to manually, and they are going to be driven right back into their spawn.
I'm not exactly sure how Chime got an elimination within 3 members of Envy's side. Maybe being a little bit too greedy with the ultimates has cost them their life, and nice shots too from Manu on the left side flank and constantly pressure out this back line with the idol committed from his Luna Snow. So we'll see if they can find the opening pick with this Psylocke on their side.
Look at the sheer amount of checkpoints that are on the side of Envy as Paint pops early. The Thing clobbering time onto the front line. They are going to find value, making 2 go down as Abs, Chime, and Len fall. Len going to get a turn on NK. NK being the only duelist, but it doesn't matter. Did have Rez up right back into the fight. Remix going to take out Spenny, and they are going to have a ton of space here to push this point forward.
Yeah, potential stagger going to come through. Oh, that's terrible onto Candy. Everybody else just needs to run back into spawn. They'll have a retouch. But nice stagger from Team Envy, and also in that previous fight, really to pop off all of those Shredder's ultimates at the correct time, really resulted in that win for Team Envy. Now Rad has to come back in with 2 minutes and 35 on the time bank.
Yeah, this is just really, really well done here by Envy. I mean, I've got to show love where it's due. Chime falls, Len falls, and once again, NK gonna pop that ultimate in the sky. Galactic Legend not able to find anyone as they are going to turn around with the Luna. The meatball lands directly on Spenny. NK gonna get rezzed up there by Cow Cow, throwing out that Warlock ultimate. Remember, Warlock's ultimate will pick up anybody around his body, not around the location of the drop. So he presses forward and allows his team to come back into this fight space, taking out Len again, and this will potentially be enough space for them to take home point 3.
Yeah, Remix looks to be doing so much, getting so much value on the Thing. They're still touching though. They with the copy onto the Mantis to get that ultimate to sustain on the objective. Spenny though out of that ult now. We'll see if Envy can collapse. They'll have more members here, but if Spenny gets staggered, that's brutal. Eventually will, but Rad, Chime able to get one. This is where Psylocke actually can get work done. However, you just have to deal with the Thing in your face right now. Remix has all the support in the world on top of the ultimate from Paint committed. So we'll see if any damage is going to come through. Paint trying to desperately look for those spawn kills, but can't find it. Clobber time comes back, can't connect onto everybody, but Space and Envy and Crew still are on the objective and are all surrounding that point. Spenny eventually comes back through. How are Rad even holding on for this long? It's been nearly a minute, but without an HP pool to work with, Rad are not going to be able to touch any longer. Envy cap out.
The fight of 3,000 years, never seeming to end, but it does finally end with a minute on the clock for the side of Envy. Really well done there with that composition.
Yeah, I'm surprised that, you know, for Rad Esports, they really wanted to commit to that Psylocke for that long, considering, you know, for as good as Psylocke is and as good of a character it is, I feel like the ultimate doesn't usually find as much value as, you know, some of the other ultimates with the Galactic Legend or, you know, other duelist ultimates, Namor Whale with the damage boost, right? There's so many different things that you can deal with, or that it's hard to deal with as Psylocke, I feel like. So, you know, when you look at EU, for example, and you see Sparker having to swap off of Psylocke and maybe play something like a Bucky or, you know, other characters, that's probably when you know the character's not as strong in the current meta. But, man, look at that damage from NK. I mean, you pointed him out earlier, Shib. He's been playing so well in the Star-Lord.
Yeah, I mean, that's scary numbers. You can definitely solo duelist when you're doing stuff like that. Not afraid to buy space as a duelist as well. I mean, Star-Lord does a great job of that, just dancing above their head while dealing damage to virtually everyone around, gaining that ultimate charge and then utilizing it. It doesn't even matter if they are forcing out a strategist ultimate. The value in sheer damage alone, getting his ult back just as fast, if not faster, is all that needs to happen as they're going to keep this comp relatively consistent into the defense.
And as a Psylocke enjoyer myself, I want to see Chime pop off, right? He's going to be able to, he has to find those opening picks, but when you play against triple strategists, I mean, you know more than anyone, Shiv, it's really hard to single out an eliminated target without a very coordinated push from your team.
Absolutely, as we are again going to hold this high side. NK doing what NK does, dealing a ton of damage into the front line, just gaining some charge, 60%. This bubble coordination is obscene. Really good communication there from Space, doing a great job ensuring that it's not prioritized on him. For those who don't know, Magneto, when that bubble does get popped, if it's dealt enough damage, will immediately recharge his right click, allowing him to put out more damage and get faster ult charge as he keeps using it consistently to allow his Star-Lord to get his ultimate quicker at 70% already.
Yeah, bubble, damage boost into the blaster pistol, so that's insane from NK and Crew. They're just going to keep doing it over and over again, like you mentioned. They're all low too. Spenny falls low, Chime falls low. Everybody's also incredibly weak with Sleepy's ultimate committed, and everybody else is there with the follow-up onto Paint. I mean, that was just beautiful from them. That's a full team wipe that they just got.
Like I said,
Yeah, full reset here. The game's starting over again in your mind. You can't be stressed. You do have ultimates on the side of Rad. You can't worry about anything else besides this next fight. Nothing happened there, as they are going to have advantage in this next fight space. Still holding on to the Magneto, ready to make a play and to at least counteract a little bit of the opposition when it comes to Chime on that Psylocke and manually on that Bucky, but no major plays just yet. The thing gonna run through the back line, just trying to make a immediately with a strangling prison. Great crystals there from Loki on Sleepy, doing a great job. And here comes the dunk. Will it land?
Maybe. I mean, he's looking for it manually. No, that's brutal.
You love to see it though, as you saw Luna popped ultimate and the team just instinctively takes out that shield. Luna, I believe it's 525 HP with that extra health during ultimate, and if the team is coordinated enough, you burn that shield down, allowing your Magneto to potentially dunk on the Luna, getting that off the field, but instead turned around and swept the DPS. The duelist gets out of there, and it does give them advantage as Armed and Dangerous in the sky again. Great crystals there pop to counteract some of these ultimates. Manually still managed to get one on Remix. Did he get the reset? Yep.
And here he comes. Oh my God. Into your face. And hey, oh no, Sleepy with the coffee also committed ult, but it doesn't matter when Manuel's doing as much damage as he just did.
Yep, you love to see these clutch moments as he's gonna keep it going. It's not done yet. Can you get more? Yep, you can. Will he be able to translate this over to the next point if he keeps the streak alive manually on an absolute tear?
This is why Winter Soldier is a priority ban for a lot of players, across the board. We see Winter Soldier played at such a high level. A lot of people think he's, top 2, top 3 duelist in the game at the current moment. You can see why manually such a great player of piloting this character as well.
Yeah, I mean, it does help tone down things. Oh, wow, Cal is disgusting. Great right click there. It does help tone down things like Venom, right, Bucky? One of the few anti-dive DPS in the game, does have a lot of value with that pull and just sheer damage alone, being able to win those 1v1s with his overhealth when he uses abilities. But yeah, so it does help tone down Venom. Venom obviously in a really strong space, but without Bucky being as strong as he is, Venom is a absolute menace. Space holding up here, creating space, looking to dunk on the entire team. Doesn't manage to do so as it does connect with the card.
Yeah, that's rare. We see Space not connect with the ultimate. Chime as well came back through onto Space afterward, commits the Psylocke ultimate as well. But Born Again will bring back Space into this fight.
And the clobbering time goes out. Cal gonna res up NK with the ultimate there. That's gonna keep them in this fight. 6v6 still, but not anymore as Chime falls. Cal, just an absolute menace here with the Warlock, getting those early picks in the fight and following up. NK takes out Len, still progressing forward, trying to drive them into the spawn door. Not gonna use too many more ultimates. Actually, do not have much to work with besides Sleepy. Just gonna gain some ult charge here off the Vanguards.
I really don't know what the Psylocke is offering to this fight. It's mainly Winter Soldier, I feel like, in the terms of the duelist department, putting the team on the back in terms of ultimate impact. We'll see if Chime can turn it around here. 2 minutes left to go in the Streets phase.
Oh, try to find that off angle, and yep, Chime gets shut down. Cal knew it was coming. Sheer instinct taking this off angle with Adam Warlock. Just that duelist mindset, because he can just deal that amount of damage. Really well done there by Cal, again getting the first pick before the fight even starts.
Dude, oh my God, Cal! Dude, this guy, on any support, he's insane on top of playing a duelist. I mean, this guy could do it all, it feels like.
Oh, man, it's beautiful.
No, please. Dude, if Chime dies one more time, bro, you gotta swap, man. Like, at this point, you gotta do something.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary here. Cal just really is a threat on these off angles. You mentioned how strong Cal can be on the strategist, but imagine a strategist that can play like a duelist and still keep their team alive. Nice pick there by Chime, getting back into NK. NK might have res up, though. Yep, and NK's back in the fight. Virtually no change, but that is a nice pick again onto Cal. Those are great utilizations. Psylocke popping off here as Chime trying to find the high side on to the Guardians. Coming again. No, NK is gonna pick off Chime.
Dude, the cart also didn't push that whole time too, by the way. They finally came back. Okay, they come back in, get rid of NK. That's massive for them moving forwards, but feels bad. Chime POV, I know how it feels on Psylocke, buddy. So NV Space trying to play around this card right now, control the objective. Also, they've got the res from Cal to keep them healthy if they do go down.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, This is an absolutely insane fight. You're right, though. Not on point there. That's tough, right? These fights, not getting a ton of value when you get early picks just because the cart's not moving. The amount of times that you can just sneak back there, change cart angle, make sure it's rotating backwards, and then lose a fight and have that fight really not mean much. Oh my goodness, Cal. I just so confident right now on an absolute tear with these animation cancels with Warlock, showing how strong Warlock can be in this current meta, and being ready to throw out that bond, ensuring his team essentially can negate anything they want to, including ultimates, at any moment. So well played here by Cal. Oh my god! Again, down goes Chime.
I'm just at a loss for words right now. Remix as well, the big clobbering time in the previous fight, but now manually comes back, right? The Winter Soldier has to put the team on the back right now, but with all of the crystals and also the support from Magneto on top of the Adam Warlock, keeps everybody healthy. So here's the impact. Magneo's done it before, Shiv. Could he do it again with a dunk from space? Oh no! Shuts it down!
Oh, in these overtime fights, that means everything. That is a massive shutdown, and they are going to keep this momentum onto the backline. Len goes down as well. Just the Magneto left on the front line. Spin to win is the Star-Lord shielded up, and no! Great pick there by Space to try to even things out. There goes the crystal pop. Oh my goodness, and they're going to win this fight, I believe.
Yep. Team Envy has done it, man. Jesus, I hate to say it, like, for Rad Esports, who knows the coaching situation, the whole situation with the organization that they could potentially get in the future, right? Maybe a lot of these things impacted it, but Psylocke's not the play, man. Like, as much as I love that character right now, the ultimate doesn't do as much as the Kraken impact like you saw with Manually, man, or like Star-Lord popping off with the Galactic, right? There's so many different things that Psylocke doesn't do right now. I mean, just unfortunately, you could see in terms of damage, he was just diffed across the board, man. And listen, Chime's a good player. We saw in the previous map, he was playing so well in Winter Soldier Shib, so it's just Psylocke was not the play. You guys would have had a chance if you didn't play Psylocke, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look at these stat lines. This is insane by Envy here, right? Like, you see, like, NK, 15 final hits, Space with 17 on Magneto. That is just insane. You know that he's getting good dunks on the ultimate, but then you look down on Cal, who ties the amount of max final hits on Adam Warlock. That is so much value. Not only getting 15k healing, which you may be saying, oh, that's nowhere near the healing of someone else. Yeah, that doesn't matter when you have 17 final hits. You don't need to heal when your whole team already won the fight, and it just seemed to happen like that back and forth. 35 eliminations as well. These KOs across the board are insane, but obviously NK popping off there with 41 eliminations are just an awesome run there for the side of Envy.
Shib, I got nothing new to add, man. I got nothing new to add. It's just, I'm gonna repeat, like, dude, like you said, Cal, he did more damage than the other team's duelists on a strategist. Just think about that, man. Like, that's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, keep going.
I feel like, for Rad Esports, if they just, get an organization, have a